Hey guys, here we are playing Ace Attorney Investigations, Prosecutor's Gambit, as we are getting further and further. But yeah, yes, I guess we do. If there's a body under one of them, there should be a trace of evidence to confirm it. Hey, get somebody from the forensics. Sir, President, the findings of our analysis, sir. A bit of humans remains found the dirt, along with the signs of a body, have been buried. So be it. Really was him. Bones were also recovered from the home of an excused winner. It look like it's about right, and dental and the medical records are a match. It's him, no doubt about it. So I suspected the real president was killed 12 years ago. Yes, his 5 kidnapping was in fact an homicide. Wow, so it really was a murder, huh? Guess this takes many twists and turns, and I'm starting to lose track. Yes, perhaps we could summarize our findings just to confirm what we are understanding everything correctly. Good idea. Let's go over from the point where the president arrived at the orphanage. 12 years ago, the real president Wang visited the orphanage. His aim to meet his infant son. Purpose already assumed to be those who have been all done. Seems like we are actually made by the president upon his arrival. But instead of being greeted by his child, he was met by an assassin, but in armor Candace. That's so sad. He was hoping to see his baby for the first time, only to, indeed. He said, Miss Candace, we can be sure that the job was swiftly and effective completed. And then after assassination, another tragedy occurred. Albon's murder. Yes, it seems he witnessed a key moment in the evening of proceedings. The moment of our culprit, so-called kidnappers, took the president's body around to the side of the building. It was on the side of to seal his fate. Now he remembered where he was standing by the orphanage case at the time. And far enough away, he believed the child was seeing in the president's abduction. At which point, the body double, who has come to meet up with his corresponders, walked right up behind Albon. Leading to our unfortunate eyewitnesses, being murdered by the man who was plotting to place the president was the body double who moved Albon's body too. Yeah, I think it probably was. Why not? None of the footprints would have been his, couldn't it? Huh, actually, I think it could. It could. If we have a piece of evidence proof how it was achieved. What shows how the body double managed to move the body without leaving any footprints.
Take that!
What if the president's body don't move along the body like this? After killing Miss Aldon, could have carried him to the other side of the entrance. Giving his job to just look like the president, he would have been wearing the same shoes, meaning it would have exactly the same footprints left by the real president. Of course, and it would have been the same size. And it would look like a single set of footprints. That's how it went down. I'm glad we figured it out. But wait, there's one thing I don't get. There is? What? Why did they pretend there was a kidnapping? That the president was at the orphanage. Although left a message on Miss Ringers from the sky that what he thought he saw. It would have been impossible for the correspondents to reach the message. So they had to make it look like if the events were described in the message were true. Staging a kidnapping like he thought that he saw. Exactly. I think the two people in the photograph are likely to body double and leave Fifi in the car. So is he the one in the trench coat? How can you be so sure of that? Two of them would have to walk out the orphanage case to take the photo. Body double could have put his feet in your presence prints as he did before. Oh, so the other footprints were hers. The ones originally thought belonged to the killer, yes. What about size 9? Too small for Chairman's Win, in other words. I mean, the kidnapper should have been played by Warren Leclerc. That explains the so-called kidnapping was actually a presidential assassination. It does, which means my father must have. He must have noticed there was no way he could have suspected a murder. Does he know with the kid's picture as proof? The president picture was never put. A facial put in the evidence, correct? No, he appeared to have kept it after taking the witness statement of the child who drew it. Yeah, because he knew the President Wang was dead. He knew that what happened in the news ever got out. King Fa would have been plunged into chaos, no doubt. So he kept it a secret, and that secret died with him. Even though it mean to take blame for the kidnapping, our family name would be ruined. Your father knew the truth about what happened 12 years ago, but he chose to hide it. It finally came to light at last. Is it indeed intriguing? Huh? What? Who is there? I did it perfectly on that time. That sound. Is that a bell? Oh, Canis. What the heck are you doing here? We're the law. You think you can just show up in front of us in a palm? Forgive me, but I couldn't help overhearing the fascinating conversation you were having. After any cloud over your past crimes, just good to miss as expected. You killed President Wayne! I did, but it's not something I'm inclined to gloat over. I was more interested about something else you mentioned, or someone else. Someone you were looking for, I suppose? Exactly, that's why I took a little sure from the penitentiary. Find a certain young pup. Young pup, a rather eye-catching raincoat. What? Wait, you know who they are? The man I was speaking, what did they call them again? A secret mastermind? Your friend in the red raincoat, of course. Raincoat? The prosecutor looked a little surprised, doesn't he? Comment. Yes, he does. He does. The young pup I mentioned. He saved my life, you know? 12 long years ago. An unexpected savior. As you surmised, it was I who killed President Wang. It was not, but that meant that I too became an invalid in need of removal. The impossible president, winner, Lockhart, all three were keen to guarantee my silence. If I had met my friend, the young pup, again, they might have even have succeeded. I wonder what he's doing now. So it was the president's body double who hired you? I remember his words almost as if it were yesterday. I know how many times I have nearly been killed. Not once, not twice, but a bunch of times. I have to take all the risk. Why am I the one always putting in danger? I'm out there being him. People treat me like I was him. They worship me. So what's the difference? Who said I couldn't be good as him? There was a difference, of course. Even if he did look and sound exactly like him. Because he walks and talks like the president doesn't make him the president, does it, boy? No. He got his wish and became the boss. Filled up President's shoes. We'll go another round. That means I'm number one. I wonder what I'll have to take in the step of such a capable shoes. You, of course I do. I'm the leader now. Me! Yeah, seems that the king and his knight were as much. Same. President Double knew that his employer had a weakness. A young man named Amelie. In order to find her, he needed to enlist the help of locals. Locals as chairman winner? Once Miss Fenn had located, they simply needed to find the right time to lay their trap. Meaning where she arranged the president could meet his son. Would have been a perfect opportunity. Indeed, and with the head of the orphanage brought in, full their little prosperity was complete. What a clarity. Now, where might I find the pup? You mean makes the boy who helped you and our mysterious string puller one and the same? He set a little fire that night, out in the yard of the orphanage. Oh, yeah, we saw that. It was some kind of a prank, right? Prank? It was not of sort, my dear. No, I understand. He had taken a refuge in the igloo by the entrance. From there, he happened to see Winner Laquette carry away the dead body. As he overheard them catching a certain little plot. Plot to remove me, the only person who knew what had really happened from the picture. Thankfully, he was kind enough to come and inform me. I was waiting outside the building, you see. He also happened to mention later on that he was wearing his favorite red raincoat. In any case, he escorted me from the premise. And beyond Fairy Conspirator Boy, thought of erase both our footprints from the scene of the crime. He had the little girl seated aside in the igloo for just such an occasion. So he spread a little while about the place and set himself a little fire. No way, so that's what the fire was for. Probably ever so beautiful. We know Laquette were possibly enchanted. And all that is so attracted by the snow show, they took the opportunity to usher me out of the side entrance. He never answered my question. Were you really think he was the one behind all this? I do indeed, don't I, Helmet? Yes, I do. Man, unexpected savior. Let's use some merit. Okay.
Hold it!
Getting so close. Again, so the two of you two met before. Yes, on a cold, lonely Christmas Eve, 18 years ago back. That's long ago. On the occasion, it was I who saved his life. It was snowing more than years ago. Cold enough that the death by freezing was a real possibility. I went out for a little walk. He noticed something. Found out through the snow. Catch up to him, sniffing out the car. Those were frozen shut. It took all the strength I had, but I managed to open it. And inside, I found two young boys shivering and semi-conscious. Two? Yes. Well, found them over. I had found them even an hour later. Their poor ranges never had made it. Took them both to the nearby orphanage. Me, or is there something here about what he told us? What is about Cannon's statement that especially worthy? This is on Christmas Eve 18 years ago? Are you certain of that? I am. Holy smokes! You have something that shows that we date significant. Well, that the date of which was found.
Take that!
That was the same day on the day occurred, the murder of the well-known sculptor. No way! Instead of the aftermath of which 2 children were missing. The son of the verdict, Artie Frost, and the son of the murderer, Carmelo Gusto. Yeah, now that I mention it. Oh yeah, now you mention it, the 2 little guys did go all... Oh, huh? Intriguing. Son of the murderer and the son of his victim. That would make sense. What? One of the boys was bound in hand and foot, you see. I've been part of Miss Frost's plan and to stop Miss Gusto's son from getting to the competition. Yes, because without his son, the days for disgrace, Miss Gusto would have no choice of winning. So that was all behind it all. Sadly, neither of the boys were able to remember any such details. They weren't? No. When we met each other on that night 12 years ago, the young pup explained to me that they really were on the brink of death when I found them. And the shock of the experience because of them both lose their memories. They were not even able to remember their names. Wow, so they weren't even know where they were Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto's kids. But if they are telling the truth, they seem to likely yes. And still we don't have to tell us who our mastermind might be. Kenneth, would you mind telling us what happened next? Yeah, by all means. And this is where I'm gonna sadly end off for today, guys. I wish you all a good day, a good week, and peace, my players. Have a nice day. Bye bye.